It's Lair the Alchemist in another edition of Midweek Maiden. This is where we get together on Wednesdays to talk some Iron Maiden. I don't have any guests with me this week, so I'm flying solo on this one. And for this episode, I'm going to rank the songs on the first Iron Maiden album. All right, so I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. It should be said that I love this record. So there are no songs that I don't like on this album. I know that Steve doesn't like the mix on this record. I've always liked it. I think as a bass player, his bass is super loud on this. It's got some of Steve's best bass playing. I think the first two Iron Maiden albums have some of his best bass playing. And I've just always loved the raw energy of this. So I do like every song on this record. And you know, it's just a super important album. 1980 here kicks off the 80s, the new wave of British heavy metal, ushers in, you know, where heavy metal would be going in the 80s. It's just an iconic album. The album cover, just everything about it. All right, there are 9 songs on the record. So the songs we got here are Prowler, Remember Tomorrow, Running Free, Phantom of the Opera, Side 2, Transylvania, Strange World, Sanctuary, Charlotte the Harlot, and Iron Maiden. Okay, number 9 for me, and this probably shouldn't be a surprise if you saw my other video where I went through the first so many records, my favorite and least favorite. So Running Free. I used to really like that song. I don't really like it anymore. It's way too just kind of straightforward and doesn't have some of the you know, the sophistication that Iron Maiden would bring out in more of their other songs. It just sounds like sort of a standard, you know, heavy hard rock song. It's fun. The rhythm of it, I guess, is kind of fun, but it's a song that I'm sort of burnt out on, and I don't really, you know, as time has gone on, it hasn't aged as well for me. And me, it feels like the weakest song on this album. Number 8 for me is Sanctuary. I do like this song. Again, I do like all these songs on the album. But Sanctuary for me is, again, this is sort of, you know, it sounds like it fits in with a lot of the other new wave of British heavy metal bands, which makes sense because Iron Maiden was from that scene. But to me, it's a little too straightforward. It's a little just too kind of hard rock, and I do like it, but I just kind of like the other songs on the record better. All right, number 7 for me is Charlotte the Harlot. I do really like the chorus in this. The groove on it is really good. The lyrics are, you know, interesting. I think Paul Di'Anno sounds good on it. So Charlotte the Harlot at number 7. Number 6, I've got the title track, I guess, Iron Maiden, their title track for the band. Theme song. Cool song. Great chorus. Love the aggressive nature of it. Steve's little bass solo type thing in it. That little guitar harmony at the beginning of the song. The way the one guitar plays and then the other guitar comes in and it's kind of playing a separate thing. You know, that's just super cool. It's such a signature, you know, thing that separated Iron Maiden from a lot of other bands. Okay, number 5 for me is Transylvania. I really like Iron Maiden instrumentals. This is super cool. I especially love the way, is that the first song on side 2? Yes, the way it opens up side 2. I think is fantastic, and the way it goes into and this is here, you know, Transylvania. It's showing almost like this progressive element to Iron Maiden. They're showing off their chops, their speed, and everything. Whereas stuff like Running Free and Sanctuary sound a little bit kind of too standard for me or something. Transylvania is like, it sort of jumps out at you because of all the playing and the chops and the, you know, the soloing and the way the tempos change and everything. And I've always said I'm a big fan of what I call gear changes, where things just suddenly change in a song. So, all right, and I love the way Transylvania goes into Strange World, but I'm not going to get to Strange World yet because my next pick is Remember Tomorrow. Steve, he does this on the first 2 albums especially. You know, his bass riffs sort of carry the song, and that little bass line at the beginning. I love the sort of laid back, atmospheric feel to the whole thing, and just sort of the change of feel and change of vibe from, you know, the more up tempo, the more aggressive stuff on the record. I think Paul sounds really great on that one. All right, next is for me Strange New World. So the two that kind of have a similar feel to them, but I like Strange New World better. This would be my third favorite song on the record. I like Strange New World better because I love Steve's bass playing on this. Those lines that he plays are just fantastic. Again, the moody feel to it. The lyrics are great. Girls drinking plasma wine. I mean, what a great line. Great guitar playing in it and everything. So just fantastic. Love it. Number two for me on this record of my least favorite to favorite is Prowler, the opening track. Again, it just comes right out at you. Iron Maiden making a statement here, really having their own sound. The guitar riff at the beginning is just so super cool. It's very simple, but it's super cool. That wah-wah guitar melody that comes in, and the way the bass is like busy all over it. It's just such a cool, fantastic album opener. And then number one for me, as you might guess, the only one left here is Phantom of the Opera. And I've told this story. First time I heard Iron Maiden, this is the first Iron Maiden song I heard. Saw them late night on MTV. They're live at the Rainbow. Always loved this song. To me, this is what makes Iron Maiden stand so much farther above the pack than a lot of the other NWO, BHM bands. It's this ability to write songs like this where there's these changes in it. There's fantastic playing, Steve's little bass solo there. All these gear shift changes that I talk about that I like, the way the song shifts, and like even when it comes out of the guitar solos, when it jumps back into the da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, fantastic drumming from Clive Burr. I've always loved Clive Burr's playing. It's just a great song. The lyrics are great. It sort of sets the template for what Iron Maiden would, you know, continue to do with these, you know, lyrics. Like, you know, instead of, at this time, you know, I was listening to like AC/DC, and, you know, of course I was listening to Black Sabbath, but you know, Black Sabbath had more of these sort of you know, sometimes trippy type lyrics, and doomy lyrics about destruction of the planet and stuff like Into the Void and Electric Funeral, things like that. AC/DC was more like booze and women, but Iron Maiden had sort of this intelligent lyrical thing going on for them, and you see that here in Phantom of the Opera. It's something that they would continue throughout the band, and it was something that sort of jumped out at me. So this is always one of my top 10 favorite Iron Maiden songs, and definitely my favorite song on this album. So all right, there you go. The songs on the first Iron Maiden album ranked for me from least favorite to favorite. Let me know down below what your ranking might be, or if you just want to give me like your favorites or your least favorites on this. Let me know in the comments down below. Until we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal, and up the irons.